season, starting Saturday, February 12th at 9 on Disney Channel. How was that?
I feel like you've got a better take in you.
Drink water. We're naturally hydrated. Mm-hmm. I draw that moisture from the air.
This comes naturally.
All right, well, I guess I'll kick things off. So I just want to talk a little bit about these past couple episodes that you had. You know, the Greens went back to the country, Grandma stayed behind. So what has it been like to, just to be able to explore that sort of country space that we haven't seen yet in the earlier seasons?
This is on you.
Yeah, it's mostly on me. It's always been Bill's dream to get back to the country, and when he discovered that the house was still there and up for sale, he and everything had been working out with selling fruits and vegetables in big city. It was a natural progression, and I think that's where the guys, where Shane and Chris wanted to push things in that direction, and the writers have taken us there, and now we get a whole new bunch of people that are our friends from the country, new friends and old friends, and it's a great dynamic. It's just a different side of things, and it kind of reflects how their life was when they were growing up, because they're rural guys.
Right.
So, but it's going to be interesting to see where it all goes.
It's devastating for Grandma that they went back to the country.
Poor Grandma.
Now what do I do?
Well, you got the cafe now.
Thank God I've got the cafe. It's something to take my mind off how much I miss.
You're an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. So at least there's that. At least there's the cafe and there's Gloria. But I'm trying to be like, do I have to look at a place? Okay. At least there's a cafe and there's Gloria. But when I read that, it hurt me. It hurt me that everybody was leaving and I had to stay behind. But I'm not leaving big city.
We're not that far away.
Yeah. Well.
We're in Smallton.
Traffic.
Yes. Well, there is traffic. I'll bring the kludge down and pick you up, and we'll go back.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even think about that. I missed the kludge. Yeah.
Well, look. Let me just say, you don't look like a Grandma Alice to me.
That's what I.
It's just completely thrown me off.
Oh, then once all this is gone, you see it. You see it.
So we're talking 4 seasons, going into 4 seasons here, and talking about a movie and everything as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that you would be doing 4 seasons and beyond at this point, or that I guess you never know with these type of projects.
Honestly, you never do. You are grateful for getting the job, number one, and if it goes past season 1, it's a blessing, and any season after that is even more so. And the popularity of the show speaks for itself. I mean, one of the executives I heard said, I'm new to this, and I'm seeing you guys have a really great show here, and I'm from the mindset, if you've got something that's working, don't break it, pour gasoline on it.
That's amazing.
So I want that fire to keep going.
So, speaking of which, how does it feel to be on the #1 animated kids show?
Is that really true?
It is really true.
I didn't know that.
You need to read the papers more.
I don't know how to read.
You get the trades, honey. Get the trades.
What are they? What?
Hollywood Reporter, Daily Variety, Entertainment.
We'll have to talk after
Yes, we
this.
will.
That's amazing. I had no idea. I'm happy about it.
It's an amazing thing to have a show, to be on a show that is so well received, and then it's the #1 show. And it's really hard not to see it on Disney Channel because it won't go more than maybe 2 hours, and there's another set of Big City Greens reruns that are going.
It's not broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. I'm all for that.
Now, Bill is such a great dad,
Thank you.
Where did you find inspiration for him? Were there particular father figures yourself, or was it a conglomerate of everybody?
It's probably from my own upbringing. My mom's dad helped to raise my brothers and I. My own father passed away when I was 5. And Papa filled in that gap. And he was a great influence. He was a wonderful grandfather and, pushed us in good directions. And I think a lot of my inspiration comes from that. My dad's dad, we were still close to my other grandparents. But he had my dad's sister, my aunt, and her kids, and they were kind of concentrating on them. But we still all got together and everything, but I think both of my grandfathers were really good influences on me. And then a lot of TV dads. Andy Griffith being at the top of that list.
And then, whose idea was it to make Bill technologically uninclined?
I'm not really sure, because I remember my audition for the show, and there were a set number of lines that they had to do different things, and the one that I still remember was Bill sitting at a computer going, www.farmerslookinforlove.com, and enter. Well, that wasn't so hard. Maybe next time I'll plug it in. They never went with that route with the show, but I thought that was one of the funniest lines I've ever read in an audition.
Oh, I hope that comes back.
I hope it does too.
I would love to see Bill dating.
Bill does have problems with technology, but he seems to get where he needs to go eventually, with the help of his loving family.
Trial and error. How do you see have your characters grown from the beginning to where they are now?
Bill has become a better father, I think. Just the different situations that come up from Cricket's shenanigans, if you will. And the writers on the show are so good at figuring out things for Bill to do with the kids. My hat is off to them, because they're just they know what they're doing, and and I've thought about, maybe I want to give a story idea, or come up with a concept for a show. I'm not a writer. I can write you a really nice thank you note or a nice letter, but writing a script, that's a whole other skill set that I do not possess.
I think Grandma started in state ornery, but she does now get to she does come up with now, but now she's more into any of the schemes that anybody is willing to put up. So I think that's fun that she's ready to go along with anything right now. Whereas before, I feel like there was a lot of y'all stop being crazy children. Now I play along, and that's been pretty fun.
And you make great biscuits.
And I make great biscuits. I was just talking about that. Did you hear that conversation?
No, I didn't.
I remember from the very beginning.
No, that was one of my
Biscuit
favorite. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
And the kids wanting to have biscuits, and Cricket trying to make them. It was a disaster.
Speaking of Alice, is she? She's been through the wars, What are some other interesting things that just shocked you when you first read them on the page?
I keep forgetting that she doesn't have a leg. And then every now and then it pops up in a script. And I'm like, oh, right. And I love it when she uses it as a weapon. Is that wrong?
It's a great weapon.
Yeah, it's a great weapon. It's always a surprise. And I love it. They don't talk about it too often, so it always shocks me. Yeah, I'd say that's on the top of the list. I also love, back to weapons. I love that she has a sword. I feel like that's a great thing.
She reminds me a lot of my real life maternal grandmothers.
Really? That's amazing.
She took none from nobody.
I love that. I love that.
Did she have a sword though?
Yeah.
No.
Not that you
She
saw.
had a wicked backhand.
I'll bet.
She would get my dad literally,
Yeah.
and still say, at 40 years old, to my father, that was for the one you thought you got away with.
Did you say still say?
Yeah.
So she still does it?
Oh, when she was still around.
Oh,
She'd say,
okay.
up until the day she could still.
That's amazing.
Just remind me.
I think it's probably not something you're going to see Grandma do on Big City Greens.
Maybe for the outtake reel.
Maybe.
Are you guys recording all together, in the way you guys doing all your audio separate?
No, we record separately for the most part. There have been a few times that we've recorded together, but for the most part, because we're all busy, we all have different schedules. Miss On Camera over here has a very strict schedule that she must obey, and we have certain days that we're usually best for recording. But we go in and do our lines, and if there's a run that's going on, the voice director sometimes when I'm doing something with either Tilly or Grandma or Cricket, whatever, the voice director will read the other lines so we can get a block of stuff done rather than just going one line at a time of what Bill has to do. And it puts things together a little better that way. When you're in a group and doing a read, when you're doing a record, there's a different energy in the room. Everybody's, you're firing off of what everybody else is doing, and sometimes little improvisations come out of that, and they'll stay in the script. and that energy, you can't recreate it by just having one person record at a time.
Right.
But for scheduling reasons, it's just the way Disney does it.
With your with those particular moments, did you have like you said you had a favorite episode with the biscuits? Did you have like a favorite moment where you guys were recording together, like something that stood out, like I guess like their behind the scenes outtakes?
Do you remember when we were doing cricket calls at the very beginning?
Yes.
What?
Cricket they have these shorts where Cricket and Tilly make prank calls on people. So I remember the first time we did that. It was so fun to just be there and just throwing stuff out and playing with the kids. With the kids.
The kids.
Playing with the adults.
Them other adults over there.
Yeah. Yes. That was a good time. That feels like so long ago, though.
Well, we started this in 2015.
Wow. I love everything is a surprise to me here. Really?
Yeah, that was the first record I did. I met Mariev that day. She was finishing hers. I was going in to do my record.
Yeah.
And we met very briefly, and then I went in and did my stuff for the space chicken.
Yeah.
Space chicken.
Are you sick of it?
Oh boy, that was a long time ago.
It's like 3 different worlds since then.
We have time for one more question, guys.
I'll steal the last one. So one thing that I just really, really love throughout this whole show is this relationship that both of your characters have with Nancy. I think she's been just like such a great character, just like as for on her own and like through character development for both of you guys. So what has it been like being able to have characters that get to interact with Nancy and just have you all grow together in that sort of like dynamic?
It's nice to have her back around. The episode when it came around that, well, look who it is. That was a great setup for all that. And then having Nancy there all the time, Wendy does such a great job with the voice. She is so good. One day I'm actually going to meet my ex-wife. I've never gotten to meet Wendy because we've never recorded together. But she's terrific. I admire everything that she does. But it's great to have her dynamic in there and her effects on Tilly and on Cricket, with having the mom part of the family dynamic in there now. I think it's a really good mix.
It's fun for me to have another character that steps up to Alice, because Alice is a pretty dominating grandma. It's a pretty dominating character. So to have somebody else that she can go toe to toe with is a great addition.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what's up.
Let's go tell other people lies.
Right, you guys have Chris and Shane, the creators.